Hello and welcome to Ricks-RC Flying channel. Now this video is to facilitate modelers who have purchased my seatbelt harness kit on how to assemble the straps onto the various components of the seatbelt harness. So let's have a look at what the seatbelt harnesses look like, and then we'll dive right into how to attach the strapping material. So here we have a variety of seatbelt harnesses that were put together. This one's quarter scale with basically simulated stitching. And then here is a brown harness that was assembled. And this one actually has real stitching. And this happens to be 1/3 scale. And then we have another quarter scale. This one's a black version. And then we have a basically like a beige color. And it actually has real stitching. The real stitching just gives it a little more of an authentic look. And the kit comes without the strapping because that gives you the opportunity to basically choose the color that you need, or if you want a particular weave in the strapping, although we do provide various strapping material as well. Now, if you don't want to assemble your own seatbelt harness, we do provide completed harnesses with or without the stitching. You can have it either with simulated stitching or real stitching, and they come basically ready to install. Now we're going to take a look on how to attach the seatbelt straps to the various components of the seatbelt harness. So you just take your kit, comes with a little information card, it helps direct you to my YouTube channel so you can watch this YouTube video. And they're all resin printed parts. Now be aware that there is a top and bottom. So the top has a sheen to it and is perfectly smooth, and the bottom is basically a flat look to it and not as smooth. So make sure throughout the assembly that you keep everything the right side up, and particularly, of course, when you're painting it. Now, when it comes to painting it, what most modelers have elected to do was to, in this buckle, leave the slider in the middle position. Some have even put a little dab of thin CA glue on the bottom and went ahead and painted it. And then, you web everything through, and basically it's not detrimental to the assembly. Everything looks and works out perfectly fine, and it's much easier to do it this way. However, if you want the slider to be able to slide, like you can see, this moves forward and it can move back. And the only reason it really does that is that you can actually adjust the seat belt and either tighten or loosen it. And then if you move the slider forward, it basically cinches that short belt and locks everything in place. Really, at the end of the day, that's really not necessary because you can easily adjust everything and not really need the slider. So this is the simpler way to go, because the paint interferes. The tolerances are so tight that the slider won't move. However, if you do want the slider to move one part of the slider into a corner and then diagonally across the other side, and then it will literally drop out. Okay, and then you paint this and you paint that. Now, if you do it that way, you're going to have to take a small file that fits inside this little fork groove here, and you're going to have to remove the paint. And when you put it back together again, because they do come assembled actually, and again, into one corner, diagonally across to the other corner, and then you just basically manipulate it by sliding it, and there you go. They're installed, and they stay there. If they come, if one were to during packaging and transportation, what have you, if it happens to move in the diagonal position, of course it would drop out. So again, if that's the case, just simply reinstall it and you're basically all set. So let's take a look. We're going to use one that's already been painted, And they don't come with the strapping material, the kits, because it gives the modeler the opportunity to choose exactly the color and the type of webbing that they prefer on their strap material. Now, I do provide on my website there, I do provide strapping material. It does come in different colors. And you get something like, I can't remember, it's about 50 inches or 52 inches of it, plenty to do it. These here that I'm using, I'm working anywhere, 8 or 9 inches is more than enough. You'll end up, obviously trimming it to fit your particular pilot. Then I cut a shorter version of it, and you can work anywhere between 5, 6 inches and what have you. Or you can leave them, basically all the same length, and you'll end up trimming them at the end anyways. So let's start this installation process. I'm taking a short piece. And if you don't want the material, to sort of fray apart or something, you can take a little bit of glue and just, put some on your finger and then just tap that slightly, and that will immediately stop them from fraying. And so the way we kind of go about it, I'm just going to kind of remove that, is you fold it in half at the end like that. And then from the top, bring it in. Okay. So there we have it like that. So we're going to turn it over. And, you can, whatever you feel comfortable working with, 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch of this overlap here. And kind of make sure it's nice and snug in there, and just have a little look on how that's, you don't want it twisted or anything like that. So you do have to basically fiddle around a little bit with it. So that looks all right. Okay, so now I use a glue gun, and be very careful, how you handle your trigger here, because you need so little of it. We don't want a big blob of it. And then just pull it tight and give it a squeeze. And there we go. It's that easy. So now we'll grab one of these painted ones already. Now these were painted separately, so these sliders actually move. And what you do, again, I didn't put any glue at the end of these here, just to kind of move things along here. So what you do is, oops, take this and from behind and underneath, weave it through. Now, these are our straps, and they're exactly 13 millimeters, and these are 1/4 scale, and so they're precisely made to fit these. And then you go over the top of the slider, and there we go. Okay, so you can see now, if I were to pull this one on the top, watch what happens to the buckle. See how it moves in? So in essence, you're tightening the seatbelt. And then once you get it to where you want, if I move the slider forward, then it's basically cinched. You can't pull it anymore. And then actually what I do is, if I'm going up the route to adjust it and I get it exactly where I want, I actually then take on the back side here, I put just a small drop of thin CA glue, and now everything is permanently locked in place. And I do that more times than not. Okay, so this one obviously was, as I said, was much longer than required. And so we're going to end up trimming that. I know that that's about right. Quite often what I do is I just measure the distance, kind of keep everything looking the same. And we'll come back and do that, or actually here. So basically these here, you can pick whatever points you want of 50 millimeters. Of course, you can pick whatever you want. So what do we got here? It has to come back a little bit more. See, it's already cinched there because I moved the slider forward. So that's about right. And we're just going to trim that because it is definitely too long. All right. Now we have to attach what, in essence, of course, these are shoulder harnesses, and we got to have the long piece. Now the long one, you bring in from the top, and again, whatever you're comfortable with, 1/4 inch, 3/8, bend it back, take some hot glue, and like I said, very little. You don't want a big blob of it, that's for sure. Spread it out a bit, pull it kind of snug, and give it a squeeze, and we're done. So that's how you attach them, and you simply, go around and do all four. There we go. And we have just one more. So that's how you basically attach it. Now, when it comes to installing it on your airplane, quite often the back of the strapping material is going to go behind the pilot somewhere on the seat. So it'll be out of sight, and you can attach it any way you want. And quite a few just simply, cut it appropriately to the size that you need to go over the pilot's chest and shoulder, and you glue it somewhere behind the seat. And that's very typical. And with the lap portion, quite often it goes under the seat or simply out of sight within the cockpit, and you attach it simply by gluing it onto something. However, though, in some cases, either the seat or cockpit design, that the back of the strap is actually going to be visible. So if you need, you can separately purchase brackets, which basically go in like this. So I probably had to clean them out a bit. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, you adjust it to whatever length you need, you trim it, and then with the hot glue, you secure it. Now you can either screw that somewhere in the cockpit or bolt it, whatever you need, and it makes for a very complete looking installation. And, again, you would only need to do that if the end of the seatbelt is going to be in view. Sometimes they're on the, top back portion of a cockpit or whatever. So you may want to obtain some of those if you feel you need it. Now, with regards to the straps, there's another component, and that is these pieces. And I'm going to just trim this here. If you don't want to be plagued with that, like I said, just glue the ends and you can go about it. So that goes like that. Okay. So then these, you simply position it appropriately in relation. So that completes the strap. Now we have the completed harness. So what you would do is, as you begin to fit it on the pilot, obviously in the cockpit, you can secure the back portions of the seat belts. And as you're fitting it, what you would do is you would take the short end here and you either pull it to tighten it, or you can back it off. So you do that on all 4 points till you have it fitted properly on the pilot. And then what I do is I simply turn this over and put a small drop of thin CA glue here, and I do that to all of them, and that securely locks the harness in a permanent position on that on the pilot. Now, when it comes to sewing, now this buckle is bigger because it's 1/3 scale. Now, the sewing part, if you try sewing this with the buckle on the machine, and because of the foot of the sewing machine, it is rather difficult, if not almost impossible, to effectively do it, especially this tight to the buckle system. So what I do is I sew it on just the one layer, and then I bring it around and I glue it. So that way, the stitching, you don't have to have the buckle anywhere near the sewing machine. So like same thing back here, it would have been just sewn on here, then weaved through and glued on here. If you use actual stitching, it does no doubt makes it look a little more authentic, a little more real. Of course, there's different stitching patterns. This is the one that we use on the ready assembled harnesses that we make as well. Now, I'll show you a little trick though, if you don't want to do the sewing part, is here I have, just as an example, it's threaded through this particular buckle. And what you do is you take a black marker with a fine tip, and you can then just go and put a few little dots like that, and that simulates stitching. And you can make different patterns. Sometimes the stitching would be double. So for example, you would have double stitching, whatever pattern you want. It might be, in relation to the airplane that you're working on. Sometimes the patterns would be across like this. And then it goes across like that, like an X. So, but basically what that does though, it kind of simulates stitching. So that's sort of the easy way out of it if you don't want to get involved with the actual stitching. So I hope that gives you some insight. It is relatively easy to put together on your own. And yeah, we're good to go.